The following is brought to you by Nunchucks Incorporated. And welcome back to KVWN Channel 4 News. I'm Justin Kyle. Local parents are concerned with the safety of their children and their vehicles. Our cameraman was on the scene of the instigation of this fear. And wow, the stock market's doing great today. Oh, just kidding. But I am excited to be joined by two of the greatest leaders in history. Resurrected from the dead, Julius Caesar. And later, we'll have Barack Obama. Thank you for being on the show, Julius.
Thanks for having me.
So how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Kind of stiff. I mean, I've been dead for 2,058 years.
And a pretty brutal death at that. So, could you tell the people where and when you ruled?
Well, I was consul of the Roman Republic between the years 59 BCE and 49 BCE. And then after that, I was the dictator, and then I was killed.
Oh, by whom?
Schmuck style.
Interesting. So, how would you describe the lives of your people during your time?
Life was generally good. We had lots of land and food for our citizens because morale was always good from our military conquests. And people loved me just because I did whatever I could for them. I tried to put them before me as much as possible.
You're a few hours of being in the U.S. What are your opinions on the U.S. government?
Where's the fighting? The Senate in my time was always cruel and trying to gain more power, but I mean, it's just nice to see peaceful legislation now, unlike the constant feuding Senate of my time.
Yeah, definitely is. So, with that being said, how do you think you would fit into our modern governmental system?
Well, part of my success was due to our military actions, but seeing that the U.S. is not fighting for imperialistic reasons, I don't think I'd be useful. I do think that people would like me because of my selfless leadership. I've always strived to keep people happy. I think people now would trust me as a leader, but I see that some people don't trust the U.S. government, and I don't feel like that's good leadership.
Right. So you prefer your leadership styles. Can you describe for us your goals as dictator and how you treated your people?
Well, I knew that in order to be successful, we'd have to be very prosperous, and to do that, my citizens would have to be happy. So I made sure they were all treated very well, and those that behaved well pretty much were rewarded.
Mm-hmm. Can you give specifics for the viewers of our show?
Well, first, I wanted to take the land from the northern Gallic tribes to give to my people, and once that was done, I gave the veterans the land so that they could farm, giving them good careers and provided lots of food for the Republic. The citizens always felt safe knowing that they had food and protection from a strong military, and I mean, that was a guarantee for them.
Nice. And then, so what descriptions or what characteristics really helped you become a successful leader?
I'd say my most helpful qualities were just my love for my people, my hate for greed and corruption. I mean, the people saw that in me, and they knew that I would help them immensely. Mm-hmm. I mean, our relationship helped us both. My name became immortal in history.
Could you elaborate?
None of our feats could have been done without the hard work of both of us, my leadership and just the people's, their hard work especially. We wouldn't have been known for being one of the most successful ancient empires in history just without our combined efforts.
Right. And to contrast, what do you think your most destructive leadership quality was?
I think my aggressiveness towards change was my downfall. I mean, the Senate got jealous and they were angry. They wanted the power back from me, so they killed me. It was a good run.
Oh, it certainly was. Well, that's all the time we have for now. I'd like to thank Julius Caesar for being on the show. Wow. He was such I guess, and still is, such an impressive leader. His constant strive for the betterment of his people is quite admirable. And up next, we have the one, the only, President Barack Obama. Barack? Where is he?
Sorry guys, Secret Service wasn't here to wipe me again. It's ridiculous.
Mr. President?
What is it?
Alright,
Oh,
begin.
sorry about that guys, I'm nothing without my Secret Service.
And thank you for being on the show, Mr. President.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So, can you describe your presidency to us?
Yeah, sure can. I was elected president on January 20th, 2009. I was re-elected again for my second presidential term in 2012. I am obviously the President of the United States, the greatest country in the world, just because of all the rights and freedoms that are granted to our citizens.
Excellent. So, in comparison to Julius Caesar, who we just had on, How would you describe your governmental ideology with his constant strive for the betterment of his people?
Considering that Caesar was really a dictator, and I'm obviously a democratic leader, the president of the United States, I'd say we don't really have a lot in common. But for the way that he really drove to make sure that the people were happy and that they were taken care of, I think really reflects on the United States presidency at the same time. Because I try to do that also.
Definitely. And could you give us some specific examples?
The other day I came across an article online. It was really pointing out all my points as a president, all my leadership qualities. And the one that really stood out to me the most was the transformational charismatic quality. And what it basically explained or told that I have an uncanny ability to bring people together and really to motivate them to do something that's bigger than themselves. And I was reading it, and there's two things that came to mind. One, being told that you're a leader and that you have that kind of quality it feels good. I mean, it felt good right here. And then second, I really appreciated the fact that someone noticed what I've been trying to do, because I've been one of my biggest goals as president when I came into office was to bring the American people together and to help them move further to accomplish new, bigger, and greater things.
Excellent. So, what specific characteristics do you think really set you above the rest of all other contemporary leaders?
I don't mean to gloat, but however, as a president, I think that I'm one of the greatest presidential leaders of all time, short of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, because I don't think there's anybody that could have possibly topped them. And another thing, I'm the first African American president. I mean, that's a huge racial barrier that I've broken.
Yeah, so, in your opinion, who do you think's the biggest enemy of the United States?
I would say terrorism, and not just any specific terrorist group, but terrorism as a whole. I mean, any terrorist. They're a real problem, and they're dangerous to what this country has been able to put together and do for the past 300 years.
Oh yeah, and can you give us some more specifics?
I mean, terrorists try to instill fear into people.
Oh yeah.
They try to take away the inalienable rights and freedoms. And if anybody knows anything about America, that's definitely not what we're about. We're about giving those inalienable rights to people, and we're all about fighting for freedom and making sure that the common man has the best advantage.
Yeah. So, what do you do as a nation to combat that?
We're literally combating them. We're fighting them because the United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists, and we don't really know of any other alternative method of stopping them, what they're trying to do. I think our greatest achievement, or one of our greatest achievements as a country, was when we assassinated Osama bin Laden.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the green light on that mission, and I was so proud to be given that responsibility and that leadership role.
Oh yeah.
To make the call on that mission. I was obviously pumped about the outcome of what happened.
So in the upcoming 2016 election, if you were allowed to run for a third term, do you think that you'd stand a chance against the other candidates?
I would like to think so. I'd like to think my first term, my second term would really stand out, and I would hope that the American people see me as a great leader. And then I would also hope that my excellent speech-giving abilities would stand out again in the upcoming election run, and I'd be able to win over the majority of the vote. And but yeah, I think I'd be able to win a third term.
Interesting. So that's all the time we have today. I'd just like to thank President Obama and Julius Caesar for coming on the show. And tune in next week for when we interview LeBron James about his first year back with the Cleveland Cavaliers.